Excellent moment to every one of us. We greet us today. We say good morning, we say good afternoon, and good evening, depending on our time zone. It is the Global Clusters revolution again today, and today being Sunday, we have our people to people revolution of the Global Clusters. We are saying instead of NSAS, instead of any bad governance, instead of all these protests that no yielded any benefit to us as individual, as a people, we are calling ourselves that come let us to people revolution. Here we talk about not just taking, we're not here to take power from the powerful ones. We are saying that let the powerful ones amongst us adopt the less powerful ones and mentor them to greatness. And here we talk about uh, instead of building barriers, all right, we are saying let us build bridges that will connect us and make us be better people together as a nation. The people revolution of the global clusters is about everyone coming together, dialogue instead of protest or unrest. As our custom is, we welcome everyone in the name of the founder of the Global Clusters, Ambassador Dr. Adipuli Badmus. We say thank you and thanks for joining us today. And it's going to be, of course, another exciting time out with the People to People Revolution today. As our custom is, we introduce ourselves to the People to People Revolution with the People to People Revolution promo video. Host can be share the People to People Revolution video as we proceed. Thank you, host.
The People to People Revolution is here, a movement redefining how we connect. In a world where institutions and hierarchies often create barriers, this revolution focuses on direct engagement, people talking to people, sharing stories, and solving challenges together. This is about building bridges across cultures and geographies, fostering open dialogue and collaboration. Every handshake, every conversation, every shared experience is a step toward unity. At Global Clusters, we believe that true change happens when people come together, empowered by understanding and mutual respect. Let's bridge divides and embrace this revolution for a better world. The People to People Revolution begins with you. Be part of a global community that bridges divides and builds connections. Visit theglobalclusters.org to join the conversation. Stay informed about upcoming events and revolutions, and remember, every meeting is an opportunity for change. Let's connect and create a better world together.
Every meeting is an opportunity to create that change that we want. Let us connect to build a better world together. Welcome once again to the People to People Revolution of the Global Clusters. I am Clusterian Oluwaseyi Odusagun. Today we're going to be checking out another interesting theme for the People to People Revolution. It's about us coming together as people, working together and coming together to work. And as we are working, we are building ourselves for a better nation. And a very big shout out to the 001 People to People Revolution in person of Professor Clinton. We greet you. Thank you so very much, sir, for all you do for humanity. And of course, we'll be looking at understanding different conflict resolution styles for nation building. Understanding different conflict resolution styles for nation building. You know, even there is saying that even the tongue and the teeth do fight sometimes. We can never shy away from the fact that since we have humans, in particular group, there will be issues arising that we need to solve. So it's important for us to learn how to solve these issues instead of fighting, instead of creating scenes. we are teaching ourselves, how we can manage these situations when conflicts arises from disagreements, and it's important that we do this if we need to live in harmony, within ourselves, in the family, in the community, society, in our workplace, spread across grassroots, local government, state, to the nation, to the continent, to the world. We need to understand uh, how to manage this our conflicts and our disagreements. And it's very important that we learn. We should understand that there are several ways by which we can manage disagreements. When there are issues arising, there are ways by which we can manage and we should manage them for nation building, self destruction, and fighting. You understand? Between the youth and the government, there's issues arising, that is not so convenient. So there are ways by which you can manage them. You understand? Between employer and employee, there are ways by which you manage your differences between the family. There are ways how we just solve things amicably instead of resorting to violence. You understand? I'm not very old. I'm a young chap, and with my little experience about life, I've never seen anything productive from violence. There's nothing productive that I've been able to come out from violence. Imagine, there's a saying that if you are going for a revenge, you have to dig two graves. You understand? You know, when someone wronged me, and I wronged the person, like an eye for an eye, we only leave one of us blind. So it's very important we learn all this, because if you should, but it hurt you now, and I think I got away with it, someone else might have seen me and want to take revenge of that and on me, and someone else want to take revenge of me on you. So the cycle continue. And instead of that, why can't we just solve the issue once and forget it, and we all live peacefully? It's very possible we can live peacefully. We shouldn't allow people to use us as pawn, for their own benefits, to cause crisis and fear in the community. There's no nation, there's no community that can grow where there's crisis. So when there are issues, or when issues arose like that, there are ways by which we can manage them. Um, Anywhere in families, classroom, in an organization, a firm, in the government, in our society, So it's important that we look at that in this evolution today. So we're looking at understanding different resolution styles for nation building. All right. Like I said, that conflict is inevitable in any society. Yeah, like you said, it will happen where you have, um, even by your own self. Sometimes you fight yourself. Sometimes, oh, I made a goof. Oh, I made a mistake. Oh, I failed. Oh, I should have done it better. Even your own self. So imagine you having an inner conflict within yourselves. That means with someone else, there could be even an issue you want to drag with someone. Is that so? When it's inevitable, it's something that we cannot run away from. So far, we are still on this earth. Uh, we're still going to be having issues and disagreements one way or the other. So conflict has been established and acceptable and agreed upon that conflict is inevitable in any society to happen. And understanding resolution styles foster peace and unity. When we understand how to manage these issues, it helps us, it aid peace and unity amongst us, starting from the first society, you understand, the family, you understand, the first unit and the integral part of any society, the family. So we learn how to do this. So it's very important how to manage our conflict. So we understand how these issues are being managed. It fosters peace, and unity, which is just the most important part for any nation to thrive. Is that there's no nation that can grow with crisis. Imagine an infrastructure was being established now. Then the next 2 weeks is being destroyed, multi-billion naira or dollar infrastructure is being, an establishment, is being installed, when there's crisis, any nation, you understand, or any society that is prone to crisis and unrest can never grow. Today there's destruction, tomorrow destruction. In fact, it's to drive away investors. You understand? That place won't grow. It's gonna be kind of desert. You understand? So where there's peace and unity, where there's peace, automatically there will be development. So that's why this is very important in our people to people evolution, talking about how to solve our issues and our disagreements. So um conflict resolution also is vital for building inclusive and strong nations. You understand? This managing our issues is to help us let everybody come in, bring your idea, you understand? Because if we had grudges, if we are not working together, we can share ideas, we can cooperate. But when we solve the issues of yesterday, we can come together, you understand, and still work and cooperate and cooperate. You work together. But if I'm keeping malice with you or I have grudges with you, I will continue to we're going to be drifting apart and I won't develop because I need the idea. You won't develop as you want to because you need my idea. So it's very important that we talk about conflict resolution today, and these are some of the reasons. All right. So why does conflict resolution matters? Why? Why do you have to talk about it in our people to people evolution today? It prevents violence and promotes dialogue. Because that when issues arise, there are so many issues that arise, even starting from the home, at work, in society, the government with the people, you know, um, the community leaders to other people, when issues arose like that, when we when we deal with this conflict resolution properly, so whenever any issue arises, instead of going for violence, we go for dialogue. We have a round table. Okay, this is what happened. This is what you did. This I feel cheated. I feel taken for granted. I feel not appreciated. Maybe someone that is due for promotion or someone that is due for a raise. But is being denied. That person will feel cheated. So instead of this person to resort into violence and creating sin, you know, you can have a roundtable discussion with the CEO or the board of directors. So this is what I'm feeling. I think I need this. Instead of just there's some employees that will do nasty things. Because they are feeling cheated. So it's important that we talk about this. So it prevents the issue of violence and it promotes and supports dialogue. Another reason for doing this is it encourages tolerance and coexistence. Another reason for this conflict resolution is why does it matter? It encourages tolerance. We're going to be tolerant with ourselves. There's some people that say, I mean, I don't take shit. This is how I've been made. This is how I was born. But when we learn how to manage these issues, we can tolerate ourselves, we let some issues slide, just let it go. It make us build this thick skin. It's very important. It's very important that we talk about this, the importance. So we tend to work together. We are coexisting, are living together, as one people, especially in Nigeria, we have diverse tongues, and, diverse group of people, So it's important we learn this conflict resolution so to help us in a long way, to live together and grow our nation. So another reason for us to do this is it strengthens democratic values and justice. You know, Nobody coming together to hear their views, nobody having their fundamental human right respected. You allow me hear my voice. You listen to me. You don't just shut me down. That because there's something I'm feeling. When you tell people to when you try to shut people up, that's when they try to get even more violence. You understand? Allow everybody to express themselves, listen, and let there be a just fair, you know, a just fair of decisions, and everybody feels good. So when we what the reason we are talking about this conflict resolution also is for strengthening our democratic values and justice. And another one here, which is not the least, is essential for sustainable development. Like we said, you know, for you to maintain development in a community, in a state or nation, it should be a manner by which we manage how we manage our disagreements, yes, and solve our differences. It's very important. If not, we just see that we are spending money on the same thing because it has been destroyed over time and don't be growth instead of using the capital to do something better. You understand? Or a new project to do something the same thing at always. So it's not gonna help us sustain growth and development in that manner. All right. So we are talking about resolution style. So we should learn now. Now this there are some ways and there are some styles which we're gonna look at on how to um, manage this conflict. This could be applied separately or in conjunction, depending on the case. You understand? It's unique to individual differences and how the matters arises and situations. Because what could apply to one and apply to the other. So we need to understand the fact, and we could use all, or we could use just one that could work at a particular instance. So we have some stated common conflict resolution styles. That is ways by which you can manage conflict. This could be at home, at work, in our environment, community, any organization, and also even the nation at large. So, number one style that we could use is avoiding. We're going to be talking elaborate more on these headings. So, avoiding, so ignoring that is ignoring the conflict. Like something is happening, you just avoid it. Like you show less concern. You understand? Like there's an unrest now, and nobody is even talking about it, but it's building up. Understand? It's building up. That could actually be uh, the violence later. So, but when we just avoid it, like we just let it go, let it go. People are having issues. There's some group of people at work that are feeling like they're not being treated well, their welfare is not being treated seriously, and instead of the HR to come in, and see how to solve it, they just avoid. They don't talk about it. They let it slide. So that's avoiding. Then we have accommodating. Accommodating is about yielding to others. Understand? Just yield to others when there's a crisis. Okay, you just win. Just allow it. Just because you want peace to win, okay, just let it go. You accommodate them. Then another point is another style is competing. Whereby you assert your own position. This is what I want. This is what I want. This is what I want it to be. And this is what I want for myself. And just you're gonna stand your ground, something like that. So we have compromising also as part of the style, finding a middle ground. That is about finding a middle ground. Like how can we just allow this situation to be okay? Let it go, let's start. So that's compromising, finding middle ground in every conflict. Then the fifth one here, which is not the least also, is the collaborating. You know, that's the kind of win-win solution through cooperation. That's a win-win, everybody coming together. Now, we're going to be taking them one after the other, like avoiding, like you mentioned, avoiding, it's about you show low concern for yourself or others, like you don't care about the issue, just let it slide, nobody cares, you don't care about the issue, you don't care about what the conflict because you just avoid it, just let it go, you know. So this is useful for minor issues or cooling off periods. You understand? When you just feel like, "Oh, this is not something we should be dragging, let's just go, let's just go. You don't need to talk about this, just you avoid that conflict, just letting it go. Everybody just forget about it, just, forget it, guy, just let it go. You understand? That is where avoidance come in. And is not this avoidance, like we said, is not effective for long-term solutions. Just avoid, like we said, that situations happening at work, people are not being taken care of, their welfare is being ignored. Even at home, sometimes people just people that there's some things that are happening in the family that's supposed to be treated in the board early, or you just let it go, you don't care, over the time it's gonna build up to something larger. So not we shouldn't just avoid when we identify a conflict, you understand, we should just take our time to do our investigation to see how we can manage that. Another style is accommodating. Now, this accommodating is like high concern for others and low for self. Like, okay, okay, I don't want any issues. Okay, let it go. Understand? You allow whatever you want. Okay, you want to have it all. Okay, no problem. Okay, let it go. Okay, don't worry about me. Because conflict is about what is happening between two people. But you just care because you don't want to escalate the issue. You just let others just win and then just win the argument and just move on. Understand? So these sometimes build relationship. Yes, you build relationship. People might like you because you don't like issues, but may suppress your own needs. Understand? The other person might just be the one taking all the brunt, all the issues because I don't want any issue. Okay, let's just continue to slide. You understand? So of course it will build relationship. People will be able to work with people well, but sometimes you might just be making your own needs go low while others take everything. So in accommodate also useful when peace is more important than being right. Understand that sometimes it's just better to just let peace reign than proving your point. Understand? Because as you continue to explain, we are causing issues again and again and again. You understand? So you just for accommodating, you allow people to win their arguments. Why? Okay, allow their space. Okay, that's accommodating. Now there's another one, the other style that was being mentioned, that's competing. Competing. This is about you want to win. Like this is high concern for self and low for others. You don't care about others. You just want to ascertain your own point that this is me. It's either you assess this my point or you leave it instead. So this may sometimes resolve issues quickly but can damage relationships. Understand? Um, you just want to be rigid, not like flexible, like the accommodating. Yeah, this is my point, and this is what I'm standing on. I'm not changing it. You might solve it. Okay, you might solve the issue like being authoritarian. Understand? Like this is what I want, and this is what I want to prove. And sometimes it is useful in emergencies or ethical standpoints. This is me. I don't take this. I don't allow this. Okay, just let it be. And everybody just allow you to just be like that. So that's competing. Another one is compromising. Another style I'll mention is compromising. Here, there's moderate concern for both self and others. It's practically fair. It's fair. But they leave both parties partially unsatisfied. There are some issues that you ought to have. This is about you. This is your point that you need to get. You need to get this right, but because others also want to get it right, you just okay. Um, let us deal with this. Let us manage this situation, both of us. But instead of that you feel cheated. You understand? And that in a way could uh, could make you feel like, oh, you are not being treated fairly. You understand? But you just have to compromise for peace to reign. So it's ideal. This style is ideal for time sensitive disputes. When an issue is taking long than necessary to solve, you can just compromise, just take on the compromise style and just say, okay, let's just move on. Let's everybody just take the fair share of the blame and move, even if you feel like you're not to be blamed in what is happening. But irrespective, just allow things to go that way. And another style is the collaborating. That's the fifth one. Another style of resolving situation. That's collaborating. Now, This is when you have high concern for yourself and others. You see that there's no need for us to be fighting. When we allow disagreements to linger, we can never grow. We can never grow. This is happening everywhere in the world, you know, and it's happening in every society. It's happening in every home. You understand? So it's very important that we we just look at, okay, we take humanity first than what we want to achieve. You understand? Let's take humanity first and what we want to achieve. We all come together. Let's fix this. You understand? Sometimes it's very unfair. Sometimes when you look at a society and you see people coming together because they want to prove a point than coming together because of progress. You understand? So we should go beyond proving a point and start working together. You understand? This is about us as humans. It's not about tribe, it's not about some race. You understand? It's about us coming together, you understand, to work together in collaboration. So this promotes creative solutions and long-term peace. You understand? It creates a creative, almost creative solution and long-term peace, whereby we all come together, we accommodate others, we allow people come, let us work together to achieve this goal instead of saying that, oh, this cannot work because it's not done in my own area. So when we work together, disregarding our differences and our and what is bringing us, what is making us drift apart. We come together and we work together. Yes, then when we work together and collaboratively, is go round to next generation. Yes, then the next generation will continue to create avenue whereby people can come and bring in their idea on how we can continue to solve our problems, as we can continue to solve our differences. You understand? It's very, very important that we look at this collaboratively as people. And most effective, this collaborative way of um, conflict resolution is the most effective for nation building and inclusive governance. You understand? Like we have a kind of round table, we have a confab whereby people come together, we have a dialogue. Okay, how do you think we can do it better? The youth are agitating, okay, we want this, we want that. Okay, the youth now, okay, how do you think we can make it better? The government calling the youth. You understand? Okay, how can we solve this? How can we do this better? Now, okay, the government now enlightening the youth. Now things have changed. That's why in the global clusters, we are always set to work together with the government and every organizations that are willing, so we can work together to prioritize our people, understand, let them see what is needed. Because most of the youth, the reason for the agitation is because it feels that they are incapacitated. But when you empower the youth, and how can you empower them? Let them know what is necessary. The world has really changed. The world has really changed. Let the youth know what is needed. You understand? Now, the skills are needed. You need to learn this. You understand? You need to learn these skills, and the government rolled out opportunities. You understand? And even in the global cluster, say there are so many opportunities whereby people can learn skills, who can learn skills that can empower them and can make them free and become themselves and find their own potential. So everybody coming together on a round table, the government is telling you, look at what is happening in developed countries. Look at what they are used, look at what they are doing, look at what their human capital is like. The human capital, they are like the people, and Nigeria, we have this kind of people, we have the youth. The youth make up like the 70%, you know, of what we have in the nation. We are so ripe and ready. So what the government need to do instead of just allowing the youth to be to be less busy, not doing anything, get them engaged. The government is doing wonderfully in their own part, by empowering the youth, getting them skills to do and supporting them with some stipend to motivate them to continue doing that. And when all these skills have been acquired, they are engaged already. You understand? When I know that okay, when I acquire this skill, I'm gonna be engaged in using it. I'll be focused. I'll be disciplined to want to continue with that. You understand? But I'll feel uninterested if I saw people or I see people doing that and nothing is coming forward. So the agitation of the unrest in society most of the time is because the youth are sometimes frustrated. Understand? But with the government calling them, okay, this is what we want you to do. This is the skill that is needed now. Gone are those days when you think that when you have these all the skills that you have before, they are not relevant and they're not useful now. You know, in collaboratively we work. Okay, why not think of doing this? Okay, the government will roll it out. We have expertise there are ready to support this young child to learn all these skills. And everybody coming together, bring the idea. Nobody is actually very useless. We have people that have talent. There are so many talents in Nigeria. There are so many talents in Africa, that are ready they're just waiting, they're laying down, they're laying there, fallow, ready to be explored. So when we engage, when we engage everyone, the youth, the government, the NGOs, the good people of the nation coming together. Okay, we want to support our people. Okay, let's have them get trained. And as they're getting trained, they're being fixed, to make themselves better. With that, we solve the issues. Understand? So the reason for every of the okay, we are talking about insecurity. Okay, the youth call them. Okay, how do you think we can solve this? Okay, what about how we having the community policing? Make you use the youth, in their neighborhood. You understand? To take care of their own neighborhood. You understand? To take care of their own society. You understand? To take care of their own community and you empower them with the right training. You understand? The right training is very, very important. When you do that, you see everyone, we automatically will solve our problems. Understand? We solve our problems and we won't need an external body to help us solve our problems because we know what to do already part time. So now, how can we apply this style, all right, this confluence style in nation building? One is dialogue between ethnic groups. It is no more news that there are some groups that are always having issues, ethnic issues, in some communities or in some states in Nigeria. You call them. If it's the governor that want to do that, it's the commissioner, it's the community leader, the people that have the power to do that. We call them. Okay, this unrest, this killings, why? Okay, what this long standing, there are some states and there are some communities in Nigeria. Since I've been knowing the rights from my left, I've been hearing that they are always fighting. Wow, why these people always fighting? Till now, they're always clashing for one thing, maybe land or one land dispute or this. How can we solve this for life? Understand? Because it's just so unfair that we have generations, coming to inherit hate and fight. That's not fair. We are making the world hellish already. But we could actually make the world heavenly for ourselves. We will live peacefully. Okay, what is causing this issue? We identify the problem and we talk about it. Understand? We solve it. Those that are hell bent to violence, you know how to reorientate them. You change their mind to the right thing. Dialogue has always been the best thing. Understand? Like I read about Mahatma Gandhi, one of the heroes of India. most of the things that he did for India was about dialogue instead of violence, So violence, and now we are living in peace, actually, So violence can never, because if you do violence today and you won by violence, you're gonna, some people are still coming back to you for violence to just win you back. But if you ever want anything like that, it's peaceful. Whenever to come to you again, when I think about you, you think of peace. But when anybody thoughts of you or think of you, and the only thing they can think of is violence, they want to repay you. So let's go for dialogue. Dialogue in every area, not just between groups and ethnic groups alone. Even at home, at work, within homes, families, in our society, something is happening between some associations. Let's always make peace. The most important thing. So another how to apply this community-led peace initiatives, community-led peace initiative. There are several ways we can have a community-led peace, like maybe in sports, in entertainment, in outreach, you know, let's always advocate for peace. Understand? Let's always advocate that okay, it could be, most people now love football. It could be a football game, between communities. It could be an entertainment. It could be, and while we are doing that, we are giving them the insight. Like, look at how we are now. We are peaceful. Yes, that it could be even business that they can do to everybody's happy. So community-led peace initiatives are also how we can apply this for nation building, and also collaborative policy making. No, this is very, very important between like the youth and the government. When the government wants to make their own policy, okay, let's call the youth. Okay, every youth have their own leader or the most important people amongst them, or people that are influential among them. Okay, come. Okay, what do you think we should do better for the youth to have the impact to know that okay, governments are doing what they ought to do. So what do you think we can do better so that the youth can also feel the impact? You understand? So inclusive and collaborative policy making is very also important to help maintain peace and resolve conflict, because when we go down the drain, when we go down and see what is happening, you understand? Now we can, even if we don't have access to the people, there's some people that among the youths, or the people that are actually feeling the implementation of the policy. Let's call it and let's work together to create a better policy that will work for everyone. Another way by which we can apply these styles mentioned for nation building is conflict resolution training in schools and civil society. And so let's include these in our schools, because the schools represent an institution where we have young child, you have younger people going in there, you understand, and of course that's where they learn life. They meet different kind of people, different tribes, different backgrounds, So we incorporate conflict resolution trainings in our schools, in our curriculum, letting everyone know that violence is not the way, destruction is not the answer. Let's love peace. Don't let us love violence. Don't let us crave for violence. Let's always crave for peace, and now we can all work together to inculcate this in our children, to inculcate this in our people as young as it's possible for them to know. And every civil society also to learn how this works. Civil society, like every of our civil society, to learn this, and they can pass this. Every association, the government to make it part of the policy that okay, there should be an orientation centers, whereby peace is being advocated, and now it's being enshrined in everything that we do in our society. So it's very, very important that we do that to help um, create an enabling uh, society whereby peace could reign in all we do. So there are some challenges to conflict resolution. Some of the challenges that we have as we are trying laws. So we have some of the challenges to conflict resolution. Some of the challenges to conflict resolution, we have deep-rooted bias and historical grievances. There are some communities, there are some societies that there have been some bit of bad bloods amongst them for ages, and it's being passed. Their history is being passed. You know, there are some tribes, like I mentioned earlier on, like uh, as I was growing, I used to hear some communities, that always have clashes. Even to now, they're still having the clashes, and I'm like, why this is happening? There are some deep-rooted bias and historical grievances that have not been sorted. All these need to be sorted so that we can have a way to create and to channel peace, to maintain peace, amongst our people. It's very important. There are some community even in the world, you understand? Even in the world, even in the country, in the continent, there are some tribes, there are some nations that since ages they are still fighting till now. And you ask yourself why? You continue to ask why. So the bias and the grievances are deep rooted, and it date back ages, you understand? And it's important that we look at these challenges to conflict resolution, and we should see how we can solve these things. You understand? You see how we can nip in the bud and remove these issues from the root. You understand? Because that's the best way for us to have a nation, to have a continent and the world that is peaceful, that we can solve our issues. Another challenge to conflict resolution is misinformation and lack of trust. You know, because you don't know much of maybe some people, there are some tribes actually, there's some people that as from cradle, there's some information they pass to their children that this particular tribe they are your enemies. You don't need to like them, don't do anything with them. When you see them, you should just fight them, you should kill them. That's an misinformation. And the innocent child will grow, with that kind of wrong mindset. That's whenever I see this kind of person that is being tagged by my parents or by anyone like this, I should hate them. So that's a misinformation. So that is why it's important. In the global process, we always talk about the mind surgery. We want to make people think right. We want to make people have a rethink. We want to make people have a new way of thinking. Understand? In the global process, we don't hate. We don't even mind where you are coming from. The most important thing about the global process is, are you human? Do you have something you want to, do you have a value that you want to add to humanity? Oh, are you human? Do you have something that you can learn? Do you have a value you can add to yourself? If yes, so you are welcome in the global process. We don't even care if your color is green, white, yellow, or black. What's important in the global process is we are adding value. We want people to be better than they were. We want everybody to be able to harness, discover their potential. There are so many avenues. All our training is to help you to discover yourself, you understand, develop yourself and deploy yourself to the world for everybody to see how wonderful you could be. It's very important that we look at this challenge of conflict resolution, misinformation, and lack of trust is part of those things that we fight with. And we have weak institutions also. Weak institution is one of those challenges that we find. That's the bane, to conflict resolution in our society, whereby um, some people are not getting their fair share of justice, or they are not getting their fair hearing. It makes them feel distorted, make them feel change, or cheated. And the weak institutions is a factor that challenges conflict resolution. And of course, we have what we call cultural or political polarization. And what does that mean? It is the growing division between groups with different differing beliefs, values, or ideology, leading to conflicts and reduced cooperation. Understand? When the tribe is constantly telling want to let others know that they are always right, they are the best, they are preferred. When you let others feel inferior, other people or other party making others feel inferior, it will be difficult, for others to want to work with them. You understand? To be so hard for people to want to work with them. And if you can't work together, you know, there will come a time where there will be conflicts, there will be disagreements, and it will be very difficult for for you, to be able to manage any disagreement or any conflict that might pop up in that aspect. All right. So what's the way forward now? From what we have been talking about. So the way forward and how to manage and our disagreements and every part of our conflicts is we should promote empathy and understanding. Is that promotes empathy and understanding. Whenever there's an issue, you feel empathetic, put yourself in others' shoes, and try to understand them, try to understand what they're going through, even if it's not affecting you, even if it's not happening to you. Sometimes some people feel like because something is not happening to me, um, what is happening to that person is not real. No, no, because what is happening to that person doesn't happen to you, doesn't mean that it's not real. You understand? It's very important that we know that even if it's not happening to me, doesn't mean it is not real. So we should feel empathetic. We should try to understand people, understand how they do things, understand their way of life, try to put ourselves in their own shoes and feel to feel their pain, even if we're not present in the situation. So we should be empathetic when people are feeling having their own share of situations of life. So number two, we should train youth and leaders in conflict resolution. That's what we are doing right now. Every day you come in the global clusters meeting, we come here talk about how to manage ourselves, how to treat ourselves. That's why every time we come here. Tomorrow now is coming here to do my surgery. On Tuesday we did humanity evolution. We talk about genuine love. We talk about accurate connection. We talk about certificates, accurate knowledge and information. People to people. That's why we every day we have this training in the global process. Every day we have this conversation so that we can open ourselves to the information that will help us know ourselves better, uh, know how to build on ourselves and to work upon our strengths instead of our weaknesses. So we should train youth and leaders in conflict management. Like every time we come here, we learn in the global process how we do things. And also, we should strengthen institutions of justice, where the places uh, where justice, where fair hearing, where decisions are being made, where judgment are being made, they should be fair, nobody should be shortchanged, the rule of law should stand and be able to make the right decision for everybody to feel safe and know that okay, I am safe where I am. My decisions are my will and my safety is sure here, even in any situation. So we should use the people to people diplomacy across communities, you understand, instead of we just wanting to fight and prove a point. We should listen more. We listen to ourselves more. We let others have their own say. Let others express themselves. It's very, very important that we let others also have their own share. uh, let everybody have the opportunity to express themselves. Let everybody have the opportunity to air their voices in every situation. So it's very, very important that we do that for nation building. It's so, so crucial for us to do that as people of the nation. All right. President, please, are you there, sir? as we close, I don't see. Please, if you're on the call, kindly unmute yourself. If you're on the call, kindly unmute yourself. Host, am I audible enough? Host, am I audible enough? Host, can you hear me? Host, are you there? Okay. Please, let's bring people up to add their voices as we are running up. President, are you there, sir? Let's bring people up. And for those of us on YouTube and on Facebook, let's kindly drop our comments in the box on what we are sharing today with the people-to-people revolution of the global clusters. And we are talking about how we can resolve our conflicts, conflict resolution, the styles, the way by which we can do that for peaceful coexistence. So it's very, very important that peace begins with understanding. Understand? Peace begins with understanding, and the diverse resolution style that can be harnessed to build a united and resilient nation. We continue to do that, and let's lead the evolution through dialogue and not division. Understand? Through dialogue and not division, we continue uh, to collaborate, to speak, and to enlighten ourselves on issues and matters arising every time that we have the opportunity, whenever we have the opportunity to speak about the situation at hand, we do our best to enlighten ourselves, and we, instead of um, fighting or dividing ourselves, the protest and the unrest, we do our best to come together and dialogue. Yes, everybody have the rights to their own peaceful association and peaceful expression of what they feel. So it is very important that we continue to advocate, for peaceful dialogue, instead of coming together to cause mayhem or conflict amongst us in society. So as people of the nation, building a nation is entails requires us to always put in efforts to build instead of destroying. Sometimes you see people very easy for them to call themselves together to cause trouble, but when it is time, to come build, you don't see people. You understand? Sometimes when you call ourselves, let's come together to build, let's come together to dialogue, let's come together to see way forward. You see less people showing up, but sometimes, most of the time, when you call for unrest, for protest, you see crowd coming up, you see people ready and eager, burning with passion, with our plaque and everything, agitating, and the whole media will be there, But when it is time for us to have conversation for the way forward, dialogue, I don't, sometimes you see less interest in that. So it is very important that we continue, we continue to call ourselves, people, let's reach out to ourselves, people to people. Come, let us build. Come, this is our fatherland. We need to build, we need to create. Instead of destroying, it is important for us to create. It's important for us to see what we could do to make our home better. So it's very important that we do that as a people. So we should never be absent when it is time for us to build, and we shouldn't channel our energy. This is for the youth. We shouldn't channel our energy for destruction, we shouldn't channel our energy for division. What we should always be after is how we can build our nation, how we can build ourselves as a people. Let us get the right skill, let us get the right industry skill and knowledge and information that can make us be better, not the one that will make us be fighting, causing mayhem. It is the one that can make us better. When you have something to do, where a person of value, you know, you will be able to feel yourself doing something, feel yourself doing something important, doing something of great value in society. And as you're adding value to society, you continue to want to be grow, see yourself as being valued in society and never causing crisis, in the community and now in the nation. Thank you so very much. Do I have Madam Miriam B? I thought I saw her in the comment section. Are you still available? Madam Miriam B, you can unmute and add your voice if you are still here, ma. Madam Miriam B, are you still here? All right. All right. Thank you so very much. As we close for today, I hope that we have been able to take something home, and that will help us and go over this again to see how we can apply this in our homes, in our workplace, and spread across for a nation. Because it's when we have peace, it's when we have peace with ourselves, we have peace with our neighborhood, peace with our people, that our nation can be peaceful. Let's do our best to use all these styles to apply them, and let's be at peace with ourselves, and we all grow, because it's a nation that is peaceful. If that is a nation that can grow. A nation that is full of crisis can never grow and develop. Thank you so very much. Before we go, we ask ourselves, who are we? We are the community of professionals or upcoming professionals. We are the community of technocrats or upcoming technocrats. We are the community of entrepreneurs or upcoming entrepreneurs, where we share accurate knowledge of our industry, because we believe it is the right knowledge that you have that gives you the right power, where we share accurate information, because we know that it is the information that we have that will be like a bridge for you to move from where you are to where you ought to be, where we share accurate connection. We believe that to whoever you are connected to determine what you collect in life. The Global Clusters platform is not just a social media platform whereby you connect with people, you share what's your mind, you showcase what you do and what you represent, and people come with connect with you for better opportunities and limitless opportunity. The Global Clusters platform is not just where you come in the marketplace to sell like a pro as a vendor, or you affiliate as or affiliate as a clusterian to make something for yourself. The Global Cluster platform is not just even a platform where when you get onboarded, you start making money for yourself. The social media platform of the Global Clusters is a platform for nation building, for human capital building, whereby we continue to build ourselves for better nation. Because we believe that when we have better people, we have a better nation. There's no nation that can be greater than its own people. So our people, our own self as Nigerian, we are great people. We can be great people, and we are great people. That's why we have the vision. We are following the vision of the founder of the Global Clusters, Ambassador Dr. Adekuni Badmus, uh, in this nation building project. And we are following. We have a lot of testimonies. We have people that have been able to benefit. I am a beneficiary of this, and it has been very, very greatly impactful in my life. And it's evidence in everything that I do. And I'm so grateful for the opportunity. And so many of us also have been getting the opportunity, and the impact and the vision is clear. And we are following through. And we believe that with this, we can have our nation, Nigeria, as in being very great again, coming into the limelight of Africa, that Africa can be better again. Africa is great. And we showcase it to the world that yes, the social media platform of the Global Clusters is first of a kind, owned by Nigeria and for Africa, and to the world. And we are calling the whole world that this is where to be, to come make our own fatherland, Nigeria, great again, and of course, make Africa great again. You can check us out on the Play Store. Just download the Global Clusters app, explore, join us, subscribe, and let's continue to explore all the benefits. And those of us on the computer or iPhone, you can go to www.theglobalclusters.org. That is www.theglobalclusters.org. Check us out. See what we do. Subscribe with us a one-time lifetime as a member. And that's a plus 61,000. That's a combination. You have become a member of the Global Clusters. You have opportunity to learn some courses in the UK-based London Institute, whereby you have some courses that will equip you with relevant skills, and that you can be part of a grant community whereby you have opportunity to have a grant for yourself to build yourself socially and in financial capacity. Because of course the global clusters community of the global clusters, after building every one of us, wants everyone to make sure that they have something and everybody prospers, because the global clusters of the global clusters wants prosperity for everybody, irrespective of the class or who you represent. So join us today and let's continue. Let's continue to be part of this training. These trainings are free, but because they are parts, they are really the most important part of the global clusters for nation building. Tomorrow is my surgery by 9 o'clock in the morning, Nigerian time. Let us come do my surgery because it's very important. That's a great mind is a great life. Thank you so very much. I am Oluwaseyi Odusagun, and in the name of the founder of the Global Clusters, Ambassador Dr. Adekunle Badmus, I say thank you for joining us today and see you tomorrow by 9 for my surgery. Thank you. Bye for now.